Okay. So chapter 5. So what was in chapter 4? Do you all remember chapter 4? So the first, it will start with the cyclic succession of knowledge, right? And after that, Krishna talks about, and why, see the sequence also, it's a different way of looking at it. So initially, chapter 3 ends where Arjuna is confused, right? So Krishna says, okay, now let me go and give you the knowledge about myself. Now to give the knowledge, first Krishna says that where to receive the knowledge from. Means we say, I want to learn something. I can go and say, okay, which book I want to do. And there are a lot of books. Randomly, I can pick one book. That's one way of doing it. Other way is, I should know which book of all the books in the library, which book should I pick, which is the right book. So Krishna goes into that subject first. That he's telling that what are the right books to pick. The books which are coming in disciplic succession. He's telling, okay, there are so many books you'll see, you'll get fooled by that. Pick the book which is coming in the disciplic succession, number one. Then he says, okay, now in this book, there should be transcendental knowledge about me. Transcendental. So Krishna speaks about the transcendental knowledge of Krishna, of himself. And transcendental means, what does the transcendental means? Which is?
Change.
Which is?
Knowledge of the Krishna.
Divine knowledge.
Which is, yeah, divine knowledge, which is beyond us, which is beyond the three mode of nature. So anything above the material knowledge is called transcendental, which is above the material knowledge, right? And material knowledge is three modes like rajas, sattva, tamas, right? These are the material knowledge. Okay, so Krishna, so he's saying the knowledge which is not impacted by the material energy, right? So that is the knowledge only which can allow us to go away or transcendent. Transcendent means jump through the material world and go to the transcendental world. So he's telling, okay, transcendental knowledge about Krishna. So which book to pick? Okay, coming from the disciplic succession, then transcendental knowledge, you should read about the transcendental knowledge of Krishna. And then what is telling? What is the conclusion of transcendental knowledge? So let's say you have read all the book on Krishna. What is the conclusion? The conclusion is Krishna is the goal of all the path. So that was the section 3, 11 to 15. Krishna is the goal of all the path. So now from 1 to 15, Krishna has talked about what is the knowledge, how to receive the knowledge, and what the knowledge tells you about, right? Krishna is the goal of all the path. Now from 16 to 42, what happens? Now it is coming to our reality. So now the first part talks about Krishna. The second part talks about we are in the material world, and in the material world we are doing action and inaction, and due to that we are caught up in the cycle of life and death. So Krishna again goes into karma, vikarma, and akarma. What is karma? What is vikarma? What is akarma? Again goes about the knowledge about that and how to do a karma. Then he says that, okay, some people also gain the knowledge through the sacrifices. So people who are doing the different kind of worship, right? Through that also you can get the knowledge, but that is a slow path. And then he comes into 34, verse 34, where he says that one can receive the knowledge directly from the Guru. If you go directly to the Guru who's a bona fide Guru, who's coming in the disciplic succession, then you can directly get that knowledge. And that's a shortcut. So it goes into the glories of knowledge, glories of the spiritual knowledge which is coming through the bhakti yoga path, right? And that's how the chapter 4 ends. Everybody is with me? Still chapter 4 makes sense to everyone? Any question here?
Question is written over there. When did you teach the sun god? Okay, that's okay. That was long.
When did you teach this is in the beginning of, right? So
I know.
The first verse, right? He says that Krishna says, I taught it to sun god. Sun god taught it to Manu. Manu is taught to Ikshvaku, right? The parampara says that, right? Says that like that. Yes. Now,
Ikshvaku, isn't it the Rama dynasty?
Ikshvaku, yes. So Rama dynasty.
Isn't that the right?
Yes.
So somebody says.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the next is chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Lamentation, identity, duty, and then knowledge. Like chapter 4 is know. So start with the lamentation, Arjuna is lamentation. Second is what is your identity, and then once I know the identity, what is my duty, and then once you know the duty, okay, I need to get the knowledge, and then based on the knowledge in the chapter 5 is okay. Now you have to do your duty with the knowledge, and then what is the result of that? So what is the result? So chapter 5 is going to tell you what is the result. Result is inner peace. Okay. And without peace, there is no happiness. So we all are looking for the happiness, right? So once we have the inner peace, then there's happiness. So chapter 5 is going to put both the things together, which is the knowledge along with the duty, work, action. Okay. So that's what Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay, so I think karma, you all know what does karma mean?
Doing
The actions we
effect
do.
of effects of the effect of doing some action.
Okay, so this reaction and Mataji said action, right?
Action according to scriptures is called karma.
Yeah, okay. So action, reaction, and you said action according to what you said, Prabhuji?
According to our scriptures, like in
Okay.
line with the scriptures is called karma.
Okay, so duty. Okay, duty.
Yeah.
Okay, so see. So what? So karma means it can mean action, it can mean duty, it can mean reaction, right? And then there are two different kind of action, good or bad action. Okay. So in why chapter? So this is the link for the chapter 4 to 5. Okay. So in chapter 4, again there was a confusion, right? So in verse 41, which we finished last week, Krishna talks about yoga sannyasastha karmanam, right? By yoga, give up result of action. So Krishna is telling by yoga, give up result of action. And then on 42, he says, stand up to fight. So first, Krishna is telling that, by sannyasa, you should give up your action. So Arjuna is thinking again. It seems like chapter 3, chapter 2. Hare Krishna Mataji. It seems like chapter 2 that, based on Krishna is telling that I should renounce, I should take sannyasa, but then he's telling that you should stand up and fight. So again, Arjuna is confused. He's not getting that what Krishna is trying to tell him. So in chapter 5, Krishna is going to clarify it again. So now you tell me, what is your understanding? Now we have learned so much, right? And we have also delved into this topic, what is the right way to do the karma. So if you have to answer Arjuna now, what would you answer? Where his confusion is?
Yeah, one way is saying stand up and fight, the other is saying that take no action. So there is a conflict.
Conflict. Okay. So what should have been the right understanding? Because Krishna did tell about. Yeah, go ahead. Who is telling online?
Yes, sir, Prabhu. Actually, I mean, as you have mentioned in the second chapter, Krishna gave the knowledge of soul and then clarified, okay, you are not killing the people. Actually, you are just ending their bodies, and the soul will anyway take another birth if they bound to it. And also in the third chapter, he mentioned the activities, whatever you are doing, you do as a nishkama karma, so that you will not get any sign. And then you offer that results to the Supreme Lord. And then in the fourth chapter, he was mentioning the identity of Supreme Lord himself. And after explaining all fourth chapter in the last sloka, he was mentioning, okay, now you understood this knowledge. With this knowledge as a weapon, just remove all your ambiguities, and then now stand up and start fighting. At the end of fourth chapter, Krishna was mentioning. With that, he revealed his identity as well, Supreme Lord identity. And now with these two, third chapter and fourth chapter, now naturally Arjuna got confused. Okay, Now, with this knowledge, whatever you gave, should I fight or now should I leave? As explained in third chapter, now he got confused.
So that is the
it's
question
the
I'm asking,
Nishkama
Prabhu.
Karma only he's supposed to do. That's my understanding.
No. So what is the answer? I'm saying that, okay, we know that Arjuna is confused. What is the,
Right.
how to remove the doubt from Arjuna's mind? What is the answer? I know in chapter 5 we haven't gone into the answer, but
Only
we have
he's
talked
supposed
about
to
the
do.
answer. What is
Yes.
that? What is that, Prabhu?
Nishkama Karma only he has to do. He has to still fight.
Okay. Yeah, Nishkam Karmega. So basically, he has to offer the result of his action to who? To Krishna. Yeah. So that's the concept which will be again taught. Okay. Again, in clear terms, is called Yukta Vairagya. Okay. So that's the chapter 5 will begin. So so I'll go into the note, and so here Krishna. So let's read the words. Sannyasham karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha samshashi
Samshasi
yashreya itiyor ekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. So he's telling that you were first asked me to renounce, then you are asking me to fight. Just tell me one thing. Tell me definitely what needs to be done. So here this very right. Yeah, सही सही बता दो यार क्या करना है बताओ, right? So so Krishna is going to dumb down his answer further, right? And one word here is Shreya. So
No, hang on. I don't think Krishna ever said renounce. Did he say?
Yeah, in the previous verse, right? He says yoga sannyasata.
Okay.
Sannyas means sannyas lo, give up.
Give up.
Right?
Okay.
Yoga, karmanam, result of your action. But it's not that confusing, but still it may cause confusion, right? That you are asking me to give up result of my action, which I am inferring. So Arjuna is telling, which I am inferring that I have to renounce my action. People can say, if I say that you should not, you are doing your duty, you are earning the money. You shouldn't earn money. Means you shouldn't, I can say that you shouldn't keep your money. Then you say, why should I work then? If I'm not going to keep the money, then why should I work? It means that you are asking me to not work. So that's why Arjuna is understanding. And what is the right understanding? Krishna is telling that you should work, Baba, but whatever the result you are getting, offer it to me.
Okay.
So that will be, give up.
Okay.
So that is what Krishna is trying to explain. But Arjuna, for us, he's again asking that question. He's telling that I am confused. You are telling that I shouldn't earn money. You are saying that I shouldn't get the result. Then it means I shouldn't do the action. And then on the next verse, you are telling stand up and fight. Those both two things contradictory. So he's on chapter. In the first verse, he's telling them, tell me one thing. Should I renounce or should I fight? Tell me one thing. Very clear. Now he asks, okay. He also dumbs down his question. Okay. Very elementary question. Krishna, tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. What is right? Okay. So
he's telling him to renounce the result, not the action. Right?
Yeah,
Right,
yes,
exactly.
yeah. But Arjuna is still little doubtful that you are, even though he has to renounce the result, but he's still doubtful that you are asking him to. Okay. So Arjuna is able to resolve this. Should I renounce or doing work action? Right. So Lord Krishna's proposal is work and be detached from the result. Okay. So that is, so here one few other verses where Arjuna got confused, right? He had asked Krishna, tell me whether I should do this or that. So in 2.7 and 3.2 and 5.1 again. So one word, and after that I'll move to the verses also directly. Shreyas. So you see in this verse, it says Shreyas. You see, this is the Shreyas word. So it says Yash Shreya. Yash Shreya. So this Shreya is actually Shreya, because when you combine the two Sanskrit words, it becomes C, Cha. But otherwise Sha, Shreya. So Shreya is work. Like, so it is what kind of work I should do. So there are two kind of work. It's called Prayas and Shreyas. Prayas and Shreyas. So you see, it says Priyaha, Priyaha and Shreyaha, right? So Priyash and Shreyas. So both are kind of work, but the Priyash is short term. Shreyas is long term. So I want to enjoy. So kids, let's say it's in this example is, let's say next this will help you. So let's say kids, they say that I want to enjoy. And how do I will enjoy? I'll play games. So immediate enjoyment.
Yeah.
But in the long term, what's going to happen?
This is instant gratification.
Instant gratification. But in long term,
They lose it.
they will lose it. Why they will lose it? Because they spoil their life just playing games. They didn't study it. So nobody is going to give them, they are not going to find a job or any business, right? While the other person, other boy you see in the prayer shares thing, he's focusing on the study. Is a study enjoyable in the initial phase? It's not. It's boring. Why I'm studying, right? But ultimately, how it helps? It helps them to grow, and then ultimately, when they become adult, they can enjoy, because then they can find the right nice job, they can find the nice car, and they can really enjoy. So this boy was also working for enjoyment, but he was not initially getting the enjoyment. He's thinking long term, long term. So that's called Shreyas, and Preyash is short term. So now this is so when Arjuna is using that word Shreyas, he's telling that what is beneficial in the long term for me. What is beneficial? So Shreyas just is not telling that what kind of work. He's telling me, tell me the work which in the long term is good for me, not in the short term. This is a very important point which is being asked there. Make sense? So, and you should always remember, this is something even for the child, right? Like if you have your child who are growing right now, you should know that, like that, yeah, you want to do enjoyment, but if you study, then in the long term, you're going to enjoy a lot. So this is the right way to teach.
Prabhuji, can I ask
Yes,
you
Prabhuji,
a
question.
slightly unrelated question?
Yes,
I'm
Prabhuji.
just looking at the slide.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So when you demonstrating the concept of the prayer, on the left hand side you have kids with westernized clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have the tradition, just the
No.
choice, or is it just coincidence?
It's a
Or there is some thought.
yeah, yeah. So it's definitely it just relates. It need not be. It need not be. I suppose it just happened to be pictured like that, right? But it says that it's just depicting that the people who are playing the games, they are like all they are too much influenced by the current material energy. While people, but it's not the right representation. It's not. It's not. Means I think we can have the similar Western dressed kid studying also.
Yeah, just asking.
Yeah, no, it is a good. It's a good. We should change the picture, because other people say, oh, it's just like when you put the picture of the male or the female. They say, why all the time you show this with the female or with the male? That is only the male are drinking, are the females not drinking? Whenever you show the picture of drinking, you show the male. People think that way. So it's a good, yeah, good, yeah. No, it has no connotation. It has no connotation. Okay, so that's where the question comes: what kind of work we should do, and we should try to internalize that. What is the real purpose of studying Bhagavad Gita also? Why we are studying Bhagavad Gita? Yeah, what is Shreyas for us?
Getting to the Godhead.
Yes, we want to really don't want to win this material. We want to go back, right? So that is the reason. So some people say, when I read Bhagavad Gita, I get a lot of peace. That is okay. That is, you'll get the peace. Yeah, it will get the peace. Your prayers is there, but the goal should be, I'm not worried about the peace. Okay, that will come. That is side effect. Is going to come. But my focus is go back to Godhead, right? So a lot of people get lost. So that's the reason, the yoga Ashtanga yoga system, which is like now we can Hatha yoga and all the yoga. We do, the purpose is to calm the mind down, and with that calm mind down, I can focus on studying the scriptures, practicing the scriptures. But people then, oh, I did the pranayam, I feel much better. My body is looking. So that is the prayers. That is not Shreyas. Right? So we should know what is the purpose of that. Okay? All right.
Can we mix prayers and Shreyas?
So prayers will always be, means the short-term rewards are always there. Whenever even you are studying, right? If you get the good marks, you feel a lot of relief, right? You feel good, you feel happy, right? Your parents feel happy. So the reward is there. But initially we think no, playing video game is so the scripture always tells that you should focus on the big picture. You should focus on the long term, okay, not the short term. Okay. So here how the chapter 5 is divided. So it is action in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. So now I have learned what is Kṛṣṇa consciousness by through chapter 4, right? Always thinking about Kṛṣṇa and all the things we talked about. Now, having that knowledge, with that knowledge, how should I work? Okay, how I should work. So, of course, the first question is Arjuna is asking renunciation or work, what is better? And then Kṛṣṇa is going to talk about that karma yoga is equal but easier than sannyasa. So, karma yoga and sannyasa both are at the same footing, but for most of the people who are in this world, who are leading the grihastha life or who wants to get into the grihastha, karma yoga is better than sannyas. Okay, because why it is better? Tell me why karma yoga is better than sannyas for majority of the people.
Sannyasa means you have to renounce the family life.
Renounce the family life. You have to renounce so many things. And why it is difficult?
I think it's hard to get right, Prabhu. You think that you are sannyasa, but you still have lingering to the world. That's hard to perfect.
Yes. So So false renunciation is not suggested. So a lot of people. So majority of the people, 99.9999% of the people in this world, they have desires. They want to enjoy. Okay, I should have a wife, or I would like to do this or something. I would like to do some research, and I'll want to. So they have some desire. So with that desire, I cannot renounce, because if I try to renounce, that's a false renunciation. So I have to work. But while I'm working, how I can go back to Godhead, Kṛṣṇa?
Giving the results out.
And that is how to offer the result. While I'm working, what should be the attitude of my work, right? That I'm approaching the work thinking how everything is related with Kṛṣṇa. Then when I get the result of the work, I offer it to Kṛṣṇa. So that's the chapter 5 is going to talk more about that, right? So karma yoga is equal but easier than sannyasa. And then 7 to 16 will talk about performing nishkam karma yoga that frees one from bondage. So it's again going to talk little deeper in the nishkam karma yoga, because now we have learned chapter 4. It's going to tell now once you have acquired the knowledge of Kṛṣṇa, what should be our attitude and the way we approach the karma. So that is again 7 to 16, and then 17 to 19 is going to talk about liberating by focusing on the supreme. So it is a further next step in the nishkama karma yoga, right? So it's like yukta vairagya. Yukta vairagya means Sridhar can be called a sannyasi while he is still in a grihastha life. So we all can be called a sannyasi if we follow the method which is going to be described in chapter 5. Okay? While you are living a grihastha life with your wife and children, but you can be called a sannyasi if you follow those. So that's what we are going to study in chapter 5. All right.
So in Bhagavad Gita, Kṛṣṇa is just talking about, and Arjuna is asking questions and Kṛṣṇa is answering. Who had split this into these chapters and all?
Okay, very good question. So anybody would like to answer Sridhar Prabhu's question?
Vyasadeva himself has split.
Yes. So our acharyas had done that. So it's not that. So question is, when Kṛṣṇa was talking, did he say that, okay, Arjuna, chapter 1, chapter 2? No.
Right, that's what I'm
Yeah, no. So Kṛṣṇa didn't speak like that.
Right.
Kṛṣṇa didn't speak like that. Our acharyas then divided it, because when Kṛṣṇa was talking, when we are talking, right, the question and answer is happening.
The
There is-
Bhagavad Gita, whoever has written, is he the person? I mean,
No.
written in sense, no. It was conveyed to Arjuna, but someone has to capture that and write it into a.
Yes.
And that we don't know who.
No, we know Vyasadeva.
Vyasadeva.
Yeah.
Did he actually distribute it into different chapters, or
Yes.
did he make it into?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So see, Vyasadeva, if your question is how did the Vyasadeva heard it? So Vyasadeva,
Yeah.
he can hear it, right, through his heart. Okay, he can hear it. And
Trikala Gnani or something like that.
yeah. And then while he's writing it, he's thinking how the people in this world can receive it, because they need, he knows that now he's teaching, he's becoming a teacher, that how I can divide it in a way where it makes sense. We say, okay, chapter 1, chapter 2. And after that also, after Vyasadeva also, some other, as our acharyas have come, they have, maybe you'll see that some of the chapter may be divided a little differently. It can happen. Like, so there are 700 verses. I've heard that there is some Bhagavad Gita where you see 701 verses. So some acharya divided the way they were dividing these slokas, the way they have divided differently. So it may happen. But almost all the Bhagavad Gitas which has been translated has 700 verses. Okay, 700 verses. Okay, so here we already read this verse. So translation is, Arjuna said, "O Krishna, first of all you asked me to renounce work, and then again you recommend work with devotion. Now will you kindly tell me definitely which of the two is more beneficial?" Right? Which of the two is more beneficial? Okay, so here, second chapter, preliminary knowledge of the soul was given, and its entanglement in the material body was explained. Okay, this was in chapter 2. And then he says that how to get out of this material engagement by buddhi yoga. So in chapter 2 was a summary, right? It tells that you can get out of this entanglement of the material body by buddhi yoga, which is by getting the knowledge. And the third chapter, it is karma yoga, which was explained by Kṛṣṇa, which says that person who is situated on the platform of knowledge no longer has any duties to perform. So whoever is at the platform of knowledge, they have no duty to perform. So this seems confusing, right? That's the reason chapter 4th was then spoken. Chapter 4th, the Lord is telling Arjuna that all kinds of sacrificial work culminates in knowledge. However, at the end of the 4th chapter, the Lord advises Arjuna to wake up and fight, being situated in perfect knowledge. Therefore, by simultaneously stressing the importance of both work in devotion and inaction in knowledge, it has caused Arjuna into confusion, right? So Arjuna is confused. So now Arjuna is trying to understand. Arjuna understand that renunciation in knowledge involves cessation of all work, all kind of work. So he's thinking that the same example I was talking about, right? When Kṛṣṇa says that you do not earn the money, then Arjuna thinks that I should stop working, because if I work, then I'm going to earn the money. So he thinks that I have to stop working, which is I should not fight, right? So now that is the doubt, and that is what the chapter, the next verses, Kṛṣṇa is going to be talking about. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Little bit for you. Okay. Sannyasa karma yogascha. Nishriyasya karva ubhayu. Tayoshu tu karma sannyasa. Karma yogo vishishyat. The personality of Godhead replied, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. But of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work. You see, now question has been simplified and answer has been also very simplified. Right? Kṛṣṇa is telling both are at the same level, but for you, Arjuna, devotional service is better than renunciation of the work. Because there will be some people for them. So if, let's say, if I have no attachment, I was born, and from the very beginning, from my birth, I'm not attached to any sense gratification. I don't want to play. From the very beginning, I want to study Shastras. And there are kids like that, right? They are born yogi. Because in the past birth, whatever, they were yogi probably, right? But there was something was there, so they were born, given birth. So in that case, it's good for that kid to directly become a renunciate from the very beginning. He or she need not go into the grahastha life. Right? They can become. But for majority of the people, we are getting born because we have the desire. So for that, we should work. Okay?
Prabhuji, can you talk a little bit more about renunciation of work?
Renunciation of work, Prabhuji, so just you see sannyasis, right? So
they work here.
Yeah, so work means I need not be working to support my livelihood. So the real sannyasis, they don't work, right? They subsist on people giving them alms, either the food or anything. So they are totally sheltered on Krishna. Whether I have the bed or no bed, Krishna will take care. So they go, they are wandering all the time. They sleep near the tree. They drink the water from the river. They wander. Some they get the food, other they may not get the food. They are totally dependent on Krishna. That's called sannyas. I'm not worried about my living. No 401k. If I get sick, no wife to take care. Or vice versa. Right? Generally, men take the sannyas, but sometimes women take the sannyas also. There are stories of women taking sannyas, but mostly women are meant to take care of the kids. That's how the God has made them. Okay, so so does it help you, Prabhuji? What does the sannyas means? What does it mean?
Yeah, and what you're saying is they both are at the equal footing. The work in devotion and renunciation.
They are
Yes,
both
and the men are renunciation and then they're actually getting the fast lane.
No, it's not like that.
And then somebody else is not
Yeah.
the fast lane. So
Yeah.
they're both.
Yes.
That's the
Yes. So a grahastha who is following the path of yukta vairagya and the other sannyasi, they both are equal.
Yeah.
They are both equal. In Krishna's vision, they are both equal.
Yeah, like in our world, somebody might just say, I'm better off because I've renunciated. But that's how
The general people will think like that because they don't have the complete knowledge, right? So even though we respect sannyasi because we know our practice is not perfect, right? But some of us might be having a perfect understanding and they may be living the perfect life.
Yeah.
They are equal to sannyasi. So when the sannyasi comes and we bow to them, they also bow to us. They also bow to us because they don't know that they know that some of these devotees who are here, Grahasthas, they might be very elevated.
Yeah. It's just that the sannyasis have the label. You can see the sannyasis.
Yes.
You can't see the other way. It's very obvious.
Yes. It seems like any materialistic person, right? You are also going to Microsoft. You are also going to Microsoft or going wherever, right? And then one of you may be very elevated, and one other person might be totally materialistic, right? But you cannot figure it out.
Yeah.
But if you observe the person, then you see that his life is there is a temple, there is one devotee, his name is Dhananjay. He's American. You might have seen Prabhu. You go to, is a tall, he gives the milk.
Yeah.
Yes. He gives the milk. His name is Daniel. He's initiated Dhananjay. Whenever you go, Prabhu, you can notice it. Prabhu, he works at the Bill and Melinda Foundation. He's just like a fourth class employee, means the people who maybe do something, lift here, do there, or maybe some kind of not whatever he earns, he gives almost everything to temple donation. So we make the donation. So sometimes you'll see that we are making like 4,000 donation, 5,000 donation. You think, oh, we made 5,000 donations, good. And that Prabhu will give. You'll see that 10,000 donation. He gives almost everything. He's a perfect sannyasi. He's not attached, and he doesn't have a house. He sleep in the temple. He sleep on the floor. He sleeps on the floor. Yeah. He has just a sleeping. Yeah, first room where he's distributed among is just a sleeping bed. So you see, there are people in front of our eyes, and we can learn. And he came to Krishna consciousness just 3-4 years ago. But he had gone through a lot of trouble, troubled life. So troubles bring people closer to Krishna. Because otherwise we don't look at Krishna. We don't look at Krishna. Yes, yes. What Prabhu said, takleef mein mummy ki yaad aati hai. When we are in deep pain, then we remember our mother. Okay, so very well said, Prabhuji. Yes. Okay. So why? So now here Krishna is going to talk about, or Prabhupada is going to talk about how the heart get purified by working for Krishna. When we work, then our heart get purified. Okay. So here this is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Anybody would like to read this paragraph where I put the parenthesis bracket here?
People are mad after sense gratification, and they do not know that this present body, which is full of miseries, is a result of one's fruitive activities in the past. Although this body is temporary, it is always giving one trouble in many ways. Therefore, to act for sense gratification is not good. One is considered to be a failure in life as long as he makes no inquiry about his real identity. As long as he does not know his real identity, he has to work for fruitive results for sense gratification. And as long as one is engrossed in consciousness of sense gratification, one has to transmigrate from one body to another. Although the mind may be engrossed in fruitive activities and influenced by ignorance, one must develop a love for devotional service to Vasudeva. Only then one can have the opportunity to get out of the bondage of material existence.
Thank you. So here, let me draw a little bit and show you, okay? It will help you. And it's not something new. I think we have talked about it. So now we have 5 senses, right? We have 5 different kind of senses: touch, see, smell. We have talked about, right? So 5 senses. So as long as these senses are focusing on I and mind, I and mind is based on what concept? Yes, body. I and mind is based on the concept of body. What is Krishna consciousness?
Soul.
And
Focus on soul.
yeah, so soul, yeah, that is right. In terms of the senses, what is Krishna consciousness?
Engaging all of our senses in devotion of Krishna.
Very good. So if this senses are serving I and mind, if this sense starts serving the soul and the super soul, then this becomes spiritual. This becomes spiritual. So we have to take our senses, which is focusing on the body, and now I know my identity that I am a soul, and the soul and super soul, they are living in our heart. They are side by side. So I redirect all my senses because I have the propensity to enjoy, but I'm taking and I'm active. I want to do something all the time. So I take that and redirect towards still working, but working for Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. Okay, that is so now you will understand that why the devotee of the Lord, they are always doing some seva, right? They are serving some devotees, they are cooking, cleaning, they're doing it for Krishna. And doing it Krishna means one can do the direct service to Krishna or one can serve the devotee of Krishna, which is equal. Krishna, in fact, likes it more if the devotee serve the devotee of Krishna. Because what we are learning from the Damodar Leela, that Krishna gets bound by the love of his devotees. His devotees. Yashoda Maya is Krishna's devotee. As a mother, she is serving. Okay? So Krishna gets tied by the love of his devotee. So Krishna likes a lot when his devotees are being served. So anytime we are serving Krishna or Krishna's devotee, that brings cleanliness in our heart and we grow. Okay? So therefore, jnana or knowledge that one is not. So when we say jnana in the context of the spiritual understanding, it means that where one is not this material body, but I'm a spirit soul. That is the jnana. When I say knowledge, what is the knowledge? Hey, I'm not the body, I'm the spirit soul. That is the knowledge. That is the jnana. So therefore, jnana is not sufficient. So only this jnana is not sufficient for liberation. One has to act in the status of the spirit soul. So just having this knowledge that I'm the soul, I'm not the body, is not sufficient. I have to act on that. I have to act on that. Then only so just knowing that hey, atom has electron, neutron, and proton is not sufficient, right? I need to start applying it. I need to start applying it. Then the knowledge will become realization. Without Krishna consciousness, mere renunciation of fruitive activities does not actually purify the heart of a conditioned soul. in Krishna consciousness automatically helps one escape the fruit of active actions. So what is telling that without, so our heart is because I have desire. Desire means I have some anarthas. What are the anarthas due to desire? What are anarthas due to desire?
Eight anarthas are there.
Yeah, so tell me some anarthas. Kam, Krodh, Moh, right? So propensity to enjoy, lust, anger, greed, illusion, envy. So these are all anarthas. So when we work for Krishna, then these start getting diminishes. So right now, I have a bucket load of anarthas. I have bucket load of anarthas. This is bucket of anarthas.
So I have personal question on this.
Yes, Mataji. Anartha. And then as I am working in devotion, working devotion, this will start reducing. This bucket will become, so slowly you'll say that, oh, it's completely reduced. Okay. We hope that would have been so quick. Okay. So it will start coming down, right? And as we work more, then it will further reduce. It will just like that. Okay. So that is what the purification does. Yes, Mataji, your question.
They messaged you also that I wanted
Oh, yes, Mataji. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. I totally forgot.
Sunday, when we went to the temple,
Right.
one person started abusing language to us,
Oh,
me and my husband, in front of the temple gate.
oh.
Yeah, over some parking issue.
So
So actually, it was not our mistake because he just dropped us to the temple and left. Usually leave.
your husband.
Yes, because my son has a 1 hour class.
Mhm.
So that day he was like leaving us because we wanted to stand in a queue because he don't have to park the car.
Mhm.
So he took his car and then I asked him little bit money to buy something. So he was like, the traffic is there at the back. So he luckily got one space. So he said, okay, I park here and I will give you money. It was just for 30 seconds only. So one person came, started using so dirty language in Hindi. And me and my husband were calm. I was having, like, I'm very short tempered. I wanted to slap that guy that time. But my husband was like, this is temple. We should not. If he is doing, let it be. But we should not. Even when he said such dirty words, I was shouting that why in temple you are saying like that. But I didn't say anything bad at all. So, but my husband was so calm. He's like, why you are getting angry? It's his karma. So I was like, how can you be so calm? I wanted to slap that guy. Then I went to Kṛṣṇa, Radharani. I cried a lot. Like in temple, I cried a lot. So now, when I messaged you next day, I was in so much confusion because I had so much anger in me. Like, Prabhu, what should I do? I should leave it on Kṛṣṇa, or should I go fight back, or I should slap him? Today also, when I was going to the temple, I was telling my husband, if I find that guy, I don't know because I have temper issue and I may slap. So my husband was like, okay, for your peace of mind, you can say little bit, but please don't fight. Like, don't slap him or something like that. So I don't know. Like, I'm a Krishna devotee. Now, should I leave it on Krishna, or now when next I because I know next Sunday I will see him. He also has daughter in my son's class. So I don't know what I do.
Okay. So your question is what you should do, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So anybody would like to answer Mataji? What Mataji should do?
Stand up and fight.
I really
I mean, in sense that you don't have to slap him, but then you got to let him know what his mistake
Prabhu,
is.
if he wants to fight, he can fight as much as he wants. But abusive language is not acceptable to me.
Yeah, you got.
And plus, in front of the temple.
Yeah, in your, I mean, in her shoes, I would actually let him know that what he's doing is not right, rather than taking any other action.
Yeah.
That's my.
Okay. So see, so this is the question of tolerance. So what the scripture says that if anything is done to us, we should tolerate. And why he says that? Because in the past life, I could have done something. Or maybe in this life, I might have done something to somebody, and now the reaction is coming through this way. And now, let's say if you react, immediately, he has created the karma for himself. Now you react, you will create the karma for you. It's not, it's, one thing doesn't negate. He did bad, you also do the bad, it's not going to negate. He is also going to get the bad karma, you are also going to get the bad karma. That's how the cycle of karma works, you understand, right? So by tolerating it, because see, what he, by doing, using the abusing language, what he did, he's hurting your ego, yet also, of course, the abusing language, like it, of course, the main thing is ego, and then of course we can say that, hey, it's not ethical, which is all those things. But if it just boil down to, it's hurting my ego, he shouldn't be doing that. Now, I can try to, of course, and that is, it's fair to say that that language is not required. It's fair, totally. It's not that you have to be quiet. You can say that that language is not required. Why you are doing that? You can. It's totally. It's okay to ask the question, but without fighting, without, like he said, I don't have a reason. I just wanted to. I wanted to say that. Then he said that no, you cannot do that. You cannot do that, right? So when people are coming to temple, right? So there are three different kind of devotees. One is called Kanishtadikari. So lowest is Kanishtadikari. Next is Madhyama, and the next is Uttama. Okay, three level of. So even in devotees, there are different level of devotees. So the people who are in Kanishta, they think that, and they are also variation, but just quickly, because so they also think that in temple, Krishna is the only God, rest everybody is idiot. So they will, when they want to take a darshan, they will push you like this, and they'll go and go. They don't care. They will just want to see Krishna. They think all other people are rubbish. Okay. Madhyama won't do it because why is Kanishta? Okay, he likes Krishna, but he doesn't understand that Krishna's part and parcel, the person I'm pushing, is Krishna's. How Krishna is going to like when I'm hurting the Krishna's devotee? Is Krishna is going to be happy? This father is going to be happy if I'm slapping my brother? No, he's not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the reason they are called Kanishta. Kanishta means they don't have the knowledge, but slowly they will, by devotees' mercy, slowly they will rise. Slowly they will rise. Right? My Madhyama is they use discrimination. So, for example, your husband showed, and you also restrained, showed that much better restraint in terms of, by fighting with him, what I'm going to gain. Whatever he had to say, he said, right? I don't, because I have so much of anger. If I say something, I'm going to say something abusive too, which is not good. So my mind is not calm enough to talk to him in a proper way. So, and then this person is also too hostile right now for to talk and respond in a better way, right? So rather, let's not talk. Let's move on. But let's say if he would have come and he could have said something bad to your son, or let's say to your neighbor or your parents, then what the Shastra says, you should stand up and fight for that person if that person cannot fight.
If he said it to me, मैं उसे कुछ नहीं कहती. Okay, it's okay.
Yeah, but see, your husband and you are both. You are two body, one soul, right? Two soul, one body, right? So in that way, if he could have gone like, so is by restraining you did the right thing, okay? And you should maintain the restraint. But if it is really bothering you, you can talk to that person. But if that person was so abusive, I think he's not of the calm mind, right? If he does that, you should definitely ask the question, why you are shouting like this? What is the reason? What we have done? Can you tell our mistake? What mistake I have done? And then after he said the mistake, let's say it's a genuine mistake, you say that, okay, that you can just tell us. And I'm sorry, I did the mistake, but that doesn't warrant that kind of a language. So as long as so the purpose is to avoid the cycle of karma. So there's one of the
third one, Uttama,
Uttama, they think that everybody is like everybody is the pure devotee of the Lord. Their consciousness is so high that in all the bad people also they see the good quality only. So if the bad person, At least he has one good quality that he's coming to temple. Let's say at least going to Krishna. They will see that, oh, this person has such a good quality. See, he became hostile because he wanted to see Krishna and he was rushing towards Krishna. And this person came in between. And that's the reason he started abusing. He's so like, see, his attachment for Krishna is so much. So they may see even from that angle. So they are so purified to everyone, they think that they are pure souls. So Uttamadhikaris are not considered to be a good creature because they don't distinguish. For them, everybody, they think that they are the lowest of the lower. They think because in them they will see little bad quality. Let's say they are understanding a little ego. The people are saying that, Prabhu, you are such a wonderful brahmachari, or a wonderful sannyasi. You are doing so much of austerity and all. And he might be doing it, but say, oh, maybe I have a little bit. But so they will look at that. You see, I have so much of ego. I'm such a bad person. Look at this guy. So they think from that consciousness. So they are Uttamadhikari, Prabhuji. So in Nectar of Instruction, there is a book where we'll talk more about Uttamadhikari, Madhyamadhikari. So this discussion happens, the type of devotees. This will also come in Bhagavad Gita chapter 16.
Yeah, I think the other thing, and the perspective might change too. This app, what your reaction is right now. Maybe like, when you look back a week or 2 weeks from now, or a month from now, you might have a very different perspective of what you're seeing right now versus.
Very.
Because the one thing that definitely happens is when somebody is attacking on us, just the natural reaction is to attack back because they're attacking on us.
Yeah.
But after a month or so, or when things pass by, or the time passes by, then you start to realize that I was reacting because I was feeling bad, or was I reacting so that I wanted to help that person, or was I reacting to teach him or her a lesson? There can be so many ways you can react. Right? Because one is instant is like the ego कि मेरे को कैसे बोल दिया तो मुझे बोल
कैसे बोल दिया, right? Yeah. How can you say like that?
Right.
How can you say?
The second is कि उनके बोलने से मैं तो थोड़ा कुछ हो जाऊंगा.
Right.
मैं बोलता रहे किसी को जो बोलना है.
Right.
Somebody says something doesn't make me that thing. Right. So I have seen it even in office, like so many times when the inner urge is to respond very quickly.
Right.
But most of the times when you respond very quickly, you repent later.
Exactly.
So even if you want to react,
right,
it's better to generally give it time, and you might end up being the same place. But it's better to give that time so that you can have clear mind to think about it.
Very good. So this is there you'll find lectures also, and a very nice story. Reaction versus responding. So one can react, but it's better to respond and not to react. React is instantly, right? Respond is to think and then you do that, right? So, and there is a story like you see when Lakshman, right? So in the Ramayana, so this story I heard, and Subbilas Prabhu is coming. He is like a Ramayana expert. So he will be here in mid of November. So a story is like how when Lakshman Rekha was put, and Ramji told that Lakshman Rekha was when Sitaji heard that Site the sound, right, or Lakshman, and then Sita is telling Lakshmanji, you should go. Ramji is in trouble, right? Ramji is telling, and Lakshmi is telling, oh, who can trouble Ram? Who can trouble Ram? Right? He knows that nobody can trouble Ram. But Sitaji is so much of affection and love with Ram that she thinks, no, you should go. Then then Sitaji says a pretty harsh word. She says that you are not going because you want Ram to get killed and then you want to enjoy me. Have you heard this?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, you want to enjoy me. That's the reason. So she said that. Now she said that. Now you think that time what Lakshmanji could have done? What we say? Bhada mein jao. Right? And Lakshmanji is that kind of person who hadn't seen Sitaji's face. He would only see the feet of Sitaji, nothing else. When he's walking in the behind, he's looking at only at the feet of Sitaji, nothing else. So pure. Okay? And that person is being abused that you want to enjoy me. His heart is shattered. But how did he respond? Very calmly, put the Lakshman Rekha, went there. And when he goes there, Ramji sees Lakshmanji. I told you to take care of Sita. What kind of brother you are? You left my wife there? Bugger. Like idiot. Right? Like that. He said that. He said the harsh word. Why did you come like this? Why you left Sita? Now, Bhabi abused.
Yeah,
Brother is abusing. He said, Bhaad mein jao. Chal diya. Did Lakshmanji do that? He served, right? So see, whenever why we are taught these stories through their living. Why Ramayana is called Purushottam. What is the right word?
Maryada Purushottam.
Maryada Purushottam. Maryada. He teaches what is the right way, what is the highest standard of a man.
But Prabhu, can I add one more thing there? When
Yes, Prabhu.
Rama interacts back with Lakshmana, he says that you reacted to Sita's words. You should have understood her intent, but still firmly stayed back, knowing that no one could harm me.
Yeah.
So there is a other version of reaction and response there as well. Rama
Yes.
expects more more response from Lakshmana. He sees Lakshmana action as a reaction only.
So yes, so that can be interpreted, but you see, but of course, the story has to happen, right? Then, if of course Lakshmana wouldn't have moved, then Ravan wouldn't have kidnapped it, and Ramayana wouldn't have happened, right? So of course, people can say that hey, that could be a better response is that you hear it out.
Rama himself tells that, Prabhu.
Oh, Rama himself tells that, okay, that you should have that.
You know that nothing can harm me. Why did you? You know that Sita spoke that in agony, and you know that she doesn't intend it.
And
why did you leave her?
And that's true. See, many times people, when like this guy, give you the very bad response by being abusive language, but we don't know what might be happening with him. His wife might have slapped him. It can happen. Somebody might have come and hit him, and he is now taking all that anger and putting on you. So we don't know what has happened to him. So that's the reason we really need to be aware that what has happened and then react. So I think, coming to your answer, Mataji, I think it's good that you maintain the calm. It will be good for you to maintain the calm, and if it still bother you, and if you feel that person is in a way where you can have a good conversation with him, then try to. Because if you're right now your emotion is still high, so I think if you talk right now, it's not going to lead to much good result. You should calm down. Just Prabhu is telling. Once you feel that you have calmed down enough, now you don't have that kind of anger with him, then that's the time to engage and talk with him. Otherwise, just leave it. And but yeah, if he does it again, now you know that what's the right way to, which is you will just say that, my dear friend, why you're talking like this? What I have done wrong?
I told Srinivas Prabhu also.
Yeah.
Because I was crying, so he asked me what happened.
Okay.
So then he said if next time he do that, then they will prohibit him to anything.
Yeah. So in that case, you go and complain to the authority and let them take the action. Okay. So we go to the police officer, right? So then they go to the authorities and tell them. Yeah, so this you will see in everyday life, Prabhu Mata. Okay, yesterday I also somebody tell me why you are doing this, and you have to learn. We have to learn to tolerate, because when we react, we will create the new level of karma bandhan. Okay, so we have to learn to tolerate on ourselves. But for the other person who cannot take care of them, and they are being abused, you should stand and fight for them if they cannot take care of themselves.
No, tolerate is one thing. I definitely agree with that. The other aspect of it, if you do not tell the person what is right, what is not, then you are shrugging off your own responsibility. And
so now the question is, so this is in chapter 17, there is a verse which talks about how to speak and when to speak. Okay, so when you're trying to teach somebody, we have to first check, is that person capable of understanding what I'm going to tell him right now? If that person is in too angry mode, lamenting, crying, they won't understand a thing. Okay, it may backfire. So even though I have a good intent that I should go and tell him, it's not the right time to teach him. Who can teach him? Somebody he respects, maybe elder person, or somebody who has the authority over him. Then that person will listen. Or when the person is calmed down, then that person will listen. So in that situation, you telling something wouldn't have worked, and it will always lead to more misery, because then you are trying to explain and he's still ready to fight. Now what you will do? You will say, let's fight. हो गया कमाल, right? हो गया कमाल, ना, right? So that's the reason. So yeah, so you should, so tolerance, that's the tolerate mean, and so we shouldn't like, okay, that I can teach something, let me, what we have learned that, no, we don't, our span of control is pretty limited. See, yeah.
I think one thing we should probably talk about, tolerance doesn't mean that you're taking someone's abuse.
Right.
Difference, tolerance doesn't mean that you're taking someone's abuse.
The abuse, yes. Means we cannot become a foot mat.
Right.
That people come and they rub their feet all the time. Yeah, there's tolerance at there. There's a difference, right? So let's say that person keeps coming and saying to Mataji like that. No, she has to first ask the question in a genuine way. If that person is still abusing, then I'm going to complain. I'm complaining to the temple authority. If the temple authority doesn't listen, I'll go and call the police. So that doesn't mean. Still, I would say that don't take the law in your hand. You don't start fighting, and because you slap, he will also go to slap. Right? So we just talk to the authorities. Let the authority deal with it. Okay. Yeah. All right. So when person eager to achieve liberation renounces things related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that renunciation is called incomplete. So when person is eager to achieve liberation and they want to renounce, but they're thinking all the time of the material things. So I want to become a sannyasi, but my mind is dwelling on the good house. Oh no, I should go with this guy. So let's say I have taken sannyas, but I'm thinking that I should go with Gaurav Prabhu. His house is really nice. He will give me good dakshina. I'm not, right? So, and you'll see what I have been told, I have not personally, that there are a lot of sannyasis even in Vrindavan. They go and eat at the rich people's house, and they will ignore the poor people's house, right? Consistently. Sometimes the sannyasis go to rich because they know this person needs really some mercy. But every time you're just going and staying and using their car, you are doing everything, and that person may not be a good person either. If he's a good devotee, that's totally fine, right? So people may question whether that sannyasi is really renounced or he's more attracted towards the opulence because he's get fed nice prasad, he's driven into a nice car and all those things. Right? So okay, so that renunciation is called incomplete. Renunciation is complete when it is in the knowledge that everything in existence belongs to the Lord, right? So everything is because we need to know that anything, who can abuse me? Everything belongs to Kṛṣṇa. There's nothing mine. Then we feel less. Feel less pain. Okay, nothing belongs to anyone, right? Everything belongs to Kṛṣṇa. Okay, verse 3. ज्ञान से नित्य सन्यासी यो ना देवस्ति न कन काक्षति निर्द्वंदो हि महाबाहो
Mahabaho,
सुखम बंधात प्रमुच्यते.
Sukham Bandhat Pramujyate.
One who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities is known to be always renounced. So who is supposed to be renounced? Who neither hates nor desire the fruits of his activities. So see, so one thing we understand, not desire, that we understand. I don't want to have the fruit of my activities. But the same one neither hates. People start like, I hate this world. I don't think I want to live in this world. This is just a garbage place. See the people, what kind of behavior they are. I don't want to. I'm just leaving this place. I'm going to Vrindavan. That is also not good. Like, or a better example is, I hate my family. My wife is just all the time. Kids are like that. I'll leave my family. I'll go to Vrindavan. That is a bad renunciation, because I've been made the householder, and I'm the father of the house. I'm the husband of the house. Even if my wife or son I don't like, I still have to try to work through it, and see that as long as they need me, I'm there. But once they don't need, let's say they are all settled in, then definitely I should leave and go. Definitely I should leave and go. Okay. So one who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities is known to be always renounced. Such a person free from all dualities, because now dualities means they don't say like and dislike. So they don't have any likes and dislikes. Easily overcome material bondage and is completely liberated, O mighty armed Arjuna. So very clear instruction. Okay. So knowledge that one is one in quality yet different in quantity, is correct transcendental knowledge leading one to become full in himself. So knowing that I am part and parcel. So qualitatively, I have Krishna's characteristic, but I am not Krishna because quantity wise I am small. I am Anu, while Krishna is Vibhu. There is no duality in his mind because whatever he does for Krishna. So whatever, so the true renunciate is, so we can be Grihastha, but if we develop that expertise that whatever I do, I only do for Krishna. And that is, I'm always thinking about Krishna. And as I'm taking care of my wife, as I'm taking care of my children, as I'm taking care of my work, I'm thinking of Krishna, nothing else, and my consciousness is always with Krishna. Then that person will be called the perfect renunciate. Okay? Next verse.
Prabhuji, can I?
Yes, Prabhuji.
On the previous one, not exactly to this, but somewhat connected. So people who are devotees, or especially new devotees, and that has been a little bit of my observation, and I could be wrong. Very true. It could be very wrong. That's why I want to check with you. So what I've observed is the devotees, like all of a sudden, they start to become devotee, or they are already devotees. They start to feel like, this person is eating meat, so it's a bad thing, bad person. This person is not going to Mandir. This is a bad person. So they start to hate other people who are not devotees. And I don't know if it's a phenomenon with the new devotees or if it's a phenomenon in general. But that is something that I've observed.
Very good. Very good point. Very good.
So
point.
how, we have to make sure, the way that you're saying, it's, of course, you're not going after the fruits, but at the same time, you're not hating it.
Yes.
So similar to the devotees, if you are in the Grihastha Yoga, that doesn't mean if you are doing it, then you start to hate everyone who is not doing it.
Yes. So very good example I'll give you. So my Guru Maharaj, one of his brahmachari disciple, he is coming and talking to him how other people, they are fasting while eating the quinoa or the fasting food, while he is fasting without water. Nirjal Ekadashi. He's just telling. He's like in just discussion. He tells that Maharaj, I'm for last 10 Ekadashi, I'm only fasting without water, Maharaj. While I see some people are not able to control. So I'm very casually talking. But what so Maharaj is telling that you are fasting, but your ego is feasting. You are fasting, but your ego is feasting. In this case, what Prabhu example is, and this is very true, and that's when the devotee is thinking that way, they are not mature. They are on the Kanishta platform, or they're imperfect. I have to look that how I can improve my sadhana, how strongly I can follow. Am I okay, I have stopped eating onion garlic. Outside also I don't eat. When and I'm able to control my senses. Whenever even the good nice paneer sabji or kofta or something and it has onion garlic, I say that I don't feel the urge. I think it's fine. It's not prasad. I'm not going to eat. I'm just fine. But then there are other people say, you see, that person ate. I didn't eat, but see, that person eat. What kind of devotee is? So I'm feasting on my ego. Oh, he couldn't control or she couldn't control. That's the sign that I have to grow. And a lot of people, it takes time to remove that tendency. And that tendency might be in the heart. Maybe I may not be telling it right now, but in my heart, I will think, oh, look, this person is not able to control. So the better level is you don't ignore them, or you feel compassionate that how I can help that person in a real right way. So that's the maturity. That's the maturity. So initially it does happen, Prabhu. Yes, it's true. But is that a right thing? No, that's not a right thing. That is feasting on the ego, basically. Okay.
And that actually, when somebody behaves, it's not hidden. The other day, who was it? I forgot. People are not fools. They can feel it, they can sense it, right? Even if they're not devotees, they can sense what you're trying to say or how you. Even if you're not saying, people can sense. Even if they're not devotees, people can understand.
Definitely, people are very smart. People are very smart. They can. So I think that I'm saying something or not saying that, right? They just by looking at our eyes, how I behaved, how I shrugged them, or the way I looked and then I just walked by. They are smart. They're smart that the kids can understand the parents that, oh, you're trying to teach me a lesson right here. Yeah, yes.
And if there is anything, then you're actually pushing them away to become devotees, because then you are actually
Yes.
pressing. If they feel like, if the devotees are like this, what's the point of becoming a devotee?
Very
Right?
good.
You have to
Very good.
demonstrate.
That's very
So
good
they
point.
can actually get inspired by the devotees, not,
Yes.
uh,
Yes, very good point. So one of the other thing of Krishna consciousness is what is preaching. So one of the definition of preaching is, did I bring that person one step closer to Krishna than before he was or she was? If by doing my action, if I pushed him or
One step
her
back.
one step back, I did the negative preaching. Negative preaching, right? So that's also definition of preaching. So that is the like very simple definition. If we always go by that, in some cases, just if somebody is eating meat, let's say I've stopped eating meat, just think, yeah, that's fine, man. That's fine. Means you like eat meat. Oh, that's fine. But okay, there's Krishna. You want to know about it? So it's okay. Eating is not more important. Is that person willing to listen and move forward? Eating meat will slowly he will leave it out. Once he start relishing the higher taste, the habit of eating the meat will go away. Okay, so Krishna consciousness is positive. So the Krishna consciousness, we should always think what I can add in person's life to bring his level of consciousness higher. Then what can I take out from his life to bring it higher? Because taking out is harder. People don't want to leave the things. Like I have friends, they are devotees, but for him to leave the chai, the tea is very hard. He used to drink 16 cups of tea. He was so like every time he used to drink like tea, because he came from a family where his mother used to drink the tea all the time, right? And he's chanting and like slowly now he has got to two cups of tea. It's hard for him. The similar year devotees, he said that at home I don't eat onion garlic, but when I go out, I'm not able to control my urge. And he feels repented. So everybody we have a struggle. We have to struggle, right? So we have to make sure that we don't overpreach people. So first thing is we have to make ourselves strong. Initially when we are a new learner, we have a tendency to become a teacher also. Because I learned something, I become overexcited. Then I start going and preaching. First, I have to. So this, I asked this question to Gaurang Prabhu when we were learning in 2010, 2011. So we started learning Bhagavad Gita here, and we used to tell our friends and all. And sometimes with our arguments, they said, What do you know that men are more intelligent? Birds can be more intelligent, right?" Stupid arguments, because we are trying to preach and we are going straight. We didn't know how to preach. We are very, very excited. So we talked Gaurang Prabhu that we are trying to preach, but people don't listen. So here's a simple example he gave. He said that first build your muscle. Then you can go and teach them how to build the muscle. First build your muscle. You understand, right? I don't know how to lift the weight. Like I'm only lifting 100 pounds and I'm trying to teach others. Hey, start putting 250, 300 pounds. Then you can go and teach somebody how to lift 100 pounds. Right? So you understand the point. Okay. So we have to, so all good points, right? All good points. Initially, the focus should be on our own development rather than thinking a lot about the other people, which is our tendency. That is one of the fault. Fault finding is a fault. Fault finding in other people, either by our words, by mind, by our action, is all fault. Okay. Next verse 4. Sāṅkhya yoge prithak bala. Bala. Sāṅkhya yoge prithak bala.
Sāṅkhya
Yogo
yoga
Prithagbala
Pravadanti na panditaha.
Pravanti na
Tina
pandita
Pandita
Ekam api asthita samyag.
Ekam
ekamyastita
Apyasthita Samyak
Ubhayor vindate phalam.
ubhayurvindate phalam.
Only the ignorant speak of devotional service, karma yoga, as being different from the analytical study of the material world. So only the ignorant speak of devotional service as being different from the analytical study of the material world. Those who are actually learned say that he who applies himself well to one of these paths achieve the result of both. So very good example here. The person who is like new to devotional service, they say, devotional service is the best, you karma kandi people, right? So which is the person is saying is right. Devotional service, Krishna himself is the highest. But that doesn't mean that the person who is karma kanda cannot come to your level of devotional. It will take him little time. By saying that, I pushed him 5 steps away. And he's saying, what kind of devotee you are? Right? So that's exactly, and that's exactly Kṛṣṇa is telling here. Right? Only the ignorant speak of devotional service. In this case, the devotional service is being talked as a karma yoga, because the karma yoga, which is without expectation, the nishkam karma yoga, is referred as a devotional service. Only the ignorant speak of devotional service as being different from the analytical study of material world, which is Sāṅkhya yoga. Those who are actually learned say that he who applies himself well to one of these paths achieves the result of both. And the reason is the Sāṅkhya yoga is also created for people to become a devotee, but their inclination is right now Sāṅkhya. And for them, there is a knowledge. Because let's say Kṛṣṇa has only given the devotional service. If I'm analytical, I said, oh no, I don't like, then I will never become a devotee. So Kṛṣṇa gave the knowledge for all kind of people, diversity. He gave the knowledge for, if I am a Jnani, start from Jnana yoga. I am Karmi, start from Karma yoga. I want something, I always want something, a lot of desires, start from Karma Kanda. Start somewhere. Ultimately, you will come to Bhakti Yoga. Right? So that's how we should, so that's very, very teachable point here. Okay? Because both the pure Karma Yoga or pure Jnana Yoga, both will lead to for us to become a devotee. Right? So pure. So the aim of the analytical study of the material world is to find the soul of the existence. So the aim of the analytical study of the material world is to find the soul of the existence. So where this world has come, right? Who has created this world? So they are trying to know who is God, who is the Supreme. So their goal is also Supreme, right? They are approaching in a more analytical study. The soul of the material world is Vishnu, or the super soul. Devotional service to the Lord entails service to the super soul. One process is to find the root of the tree, other is to water the root. Right? So this is how they are the two different things. So one is in the Sāṅkhya yoga, one is trying to find where is the root of the tree. While in the devotional service, I know this is the root. I'm just going to water. This is my. I'll serve the Lord. I'll serve the Lord. I'll do bhakti for the Lord. Means I'll do the service. So one is watering, one is trying to find the root. Of course, watering is better, but somebody is finding the root of the tree. Next day, once he finds the root of the tree, he'll start watering also.
Can you talk a little bit more about Sāṅkhya yoga?
Sāṅkhya yoga, Prabhu, is na iti, means that I want to know something that what is the cause of the universe. So the way I will approach is the universe came from this laptop? No, that doesn't seem like that. Is the universe came from this home? No, doesn't seem like that. Is the universe came from Big Bang? Analyze. No, it doesn't seem like that. So I'm analyzing. I'm going, and then no, it doesn't come. It doesn't seem to come. So I create hypothesis, and then I disprove the hypothesis. No. So and then ultimately, then I exhaust everything. And so I don't see the cause of this universe is within this universe. One of the conclusion of Sāṅkhya yoga is the cause of the universe is not within this universe. Is it outside the universe? Right? So let me go and find out what is outside the universe. And now they go into the Jnana yoga. So Sāṅkhya yoga is where the realm is all the things in the material world. They're trying to find the cause where the universe came from. So that's called Sāṅkhya yoga, the analytical study. And from your data science background, it is just looking at the data and finding that why this imperfection is happening, right? You're looking at data and then you say, man, I looked through all the data, I cannot find the causal data. That is telling me that the data set what I have is not sufficient. I have to find some more data to see where I can find the reason. Right? So that's a data science. Okay, so next verse. What is the time? 5:33. I think we have to go to temple today. We have the Damodarastakam service today. So I'll pause here on verse 4. We'll resume from verse 5. So by the way, and I will be traveling starting next Saturday. So my wife will be taking the class. Okay, so the class will continue. So keep coming. So between me and my wife, we will figure out. So because I'm traveling, so definitely next week my wife will take the class. Next following week, I may take the class online. So we will let you know as things are going, we will let you know. If it is online, then you don't need to come here. You can attend from your home. And when wife is taking the class, then you can come here, right? Or she means we will let you know. But the class will continue. Class will continue. Okay. So we would like to keep having the good pace so that we can finish the Bhagavad Gita and you all get the knowledge as quickly as possible and start applying. But chanting, how everybody is doing on chanting? Anybody who is not chanting? Sridhar, chanting, Prabhu? Not yet?
Not yet.
Not yet, Prabhu? So this is a wonderful month to start, Prabhu. Okay? Why we are waiting for Krishna to give us a wake-up call, bigger wake-up call, then we start chanting. Start the chanting before Krishna gives the wake-up call. Then you say, oh, this person has already woken up, I don't need to give a wake-up call. Start chanting because Krishna loves us a lot. So sometimes when you see that, oh, this person has the propensity to grow, but he's not growing, he will start knocking on my head. Okay? And that will hurt. So start chanting first, right? So it is really good. Means I'll definitely say it is a good time. I'll definitely say start with 2 rounds. Don't start with 1 round because then many times we stay on 1 round itself. Start with 2 rounds. Gaurav Prabhu, आप chanting कर रहे हैं? Not yet. Prabhu, आप शुरू करो. बहुत Kartik month is a wonderful month. Start with 2 rounds. And homework. Start from tomorrow and you are going to send me a WhatsApp message whether you chanted or not. Yeah, one of my friend, he's doing it. So he did from last, he was in student last class. His wife is chanting 16 rounds and she was complaining to him that chant for many months and he didn't chant it. Then she stopped telling like she gave up on him. But then I spoke with Prabhu and in the temple itself, I said, Prabhu, you should start chanting and start with 4 rounds. And he has been, since last 2 weeks, he has been chanting. So in Kartik month, he started. So he's doing, and he sent me that Prabhu chanted 4 rounds. So when you become accountable, then it becomes easier. So definitely, Prabhu, this is, if you really want, so you're all now getting the knowledge. Now you have to tell Krishna that I really get the knowledge. You have to take a step. This is the seva. So now you're doing Nama seva. Chanting is Nam seva. You are glorifying Krishna through the chanting. Okay? So my kind request, Gaurav Prabhu, Sridhar Prabhu, कल से चैंटिंग करेंगे? 2 राउंड प्रभु जी, नहीं लगेगा समय. आपके पास माला है? प्रभु, श्रीधर प्रभु, आपके पास माला है? जाप माला है? माला है? कल से करेंगे?
I'm currently doubtful, but
क्यों डाउटफुल है?
You can have finger count.
नहीं प्रभु, फिंगर काउंट नहीं माता जी. जपा फिंगर काउंट नहीं.
oh, that's what is that for? That's not a
Japa, because the japa is why japa is mentioned, because we are engaging our senses. We are so flickery that when we touch something, right, we are going through that. That's the reason why I suggested that it engages our senses. That engages our senses, so we should do that. This is okay when I cannot shout properly, right? Maybe like either my finger is hurt, my arm is broken, then I have to do it from this hand, so maybe I cannot chant, so I'll use the symbol. But then a lot of people, they do the 16 round and while they're walking, that time you'll see that they are using. So, but it's good, always good to chant as much using your japa beat. Okay. So, Prabhu, I'll kind request. कल से प्रभु, काल करे सो आज कर, आज करे सो अब.
Yeah, generally that's
कल में बहुरी होवेगा क्या? प्रलय में होवेगा तो बहुरी करेगा कब?
क्या again? What is that again? The second part?
पल में प्रलय मतलब डिस्ट्रक्शन हो जाएगी तो कब करोगे?
The destruction of the whole world will happen.
पल में
within moment. Within moment it can happen. Fraction of the moment.
So
then what is the next last?
बहुरी करेगा कब?
बहुरी क्या
मतलब हमें कि हम कब करेंगे तो कब करेगा?
When will you do that? When will you do that?
बहुरी करेगा कब?
So it's a serious thing, Prabhu. It's a serious thing. Means the earlier you start, while the mind is working, the better result you will see, Prabhu. Better result. Maybe this life itself, you don't need to take the next life. And as you are growing older, Prabhu, you will start seeing the misery of this world more and more and more. First, wife doesn't hear you. Next, the son, and I'm talking in general, I'm not talking about. Okay,
how do you know?
I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so first, you'll see that your intimate relationship will stop, like the son and daughter, they will start ignoring. And as we are getting older and older, most of the people who used to hear you, they will stop hearing you. And the way, what is the best way to understand? You look at our parents. how many times you see that we are hearing to our parent, oh, they have grown old, they are saying something, right? If they might be saying, hey, Sridhar, come to India. Why you are working here? I need you. Did I go back? No. I said, I gave the reason, good reason. My kids have grown up and they are, so I never heard them, right? So we have to realize, ultimately we realize that there is no one in this world who is more closer to us than Kṛṣṇa. Ultimately we realize. But why do I want to realize in my old age when I have no faculty is not working? I want to do it right now so that I can really become a good devotee. So means, and this is a wonderful month. Started Kartik month. There's a lot of potency in Kartik month. Radha Rani will help you. Kṛṣṇa will help you. Kṛṣṇa's devotee will help you. So please do that. Okay. So anybody else who is not chanting here? Santosh Prabhu, आप chant कर रहे हैं ना?
जी प्रभु जी, मैंने इस
Okay.
महीने 8
8 कर रहे हैं. Very nice. Sonali Mata ji, Valmik Prabhu, are you chanting?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Okay, good, Prabhu Mataji. Continue. If you're whatever round you're chanting, let's say you're chanting 4 rounds. In Kartik month, double it. Just for this month, double it. Okay? And by Krishna's mercy, you see that it may accelerate you. And the people who are not chanting, start the chanting. Okay? So that is the only suggestion and my appeal, my request, which I am putting in front of you. Everybody, please do chant. And
One question.
yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Yeah. I'm also not sincere at chanting to start with. But on which mantra to chant? If we have received other mantra through Guruji, can we chant that mantra as well?
So yeah, see, Prabhu, whatever, if you have made a guru and they have given you some mantra, I don't know where it is coming from. At least, yeah, chant from guru mantra if it is coming from the authentic sampradaya. Maybe if it is a Vaishnava sampradaya, yes, any mantra in the Vaishnava sampradaya is totally fine. Our Mataji, she is following a different sampradaya. So whatever is suggested, you chant that mantra. If it is coming from a non-Vaishnava sampradaya and still you are attached to it, at least chant something. But definitely, I would recommend that any mantra which glorifies the Kṛṣṇa is the best mantra. Okay. In our tradition, in our tradition is Hare Krishna mantra. But if any tradition you are following, that is glorification of Kṛṣṇa, is a good mantra. Okay. Chant and whatever your guru has given instruction, you follow it. Okay. Yes. All right. Hare Krishna. I'll stop the recording.
Hare Krishna,
Alright.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.